Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to our fourth session of History, chapter number 9, The Making of the National Movement, 1870s to 1947. Children, in the previous session, we have discussed about Rowlatt Satyagraha. We have discussed about Khilafat agitation and non-cooperation movement. Children, today in this session, we will discuss about topics like People's Initiative, People's Mahatma. We will discuss about the happenings of 1922 to 1929 and also about Salt Satyagraha. So children, let's begin with People's Initiatives. Children, we have discussed about non-cooperation movement in the previous session. That non-cooperation movement was led by Mahatma Gandhi, and the main aim of non-cooperation movement was to resist British rule in India non-violently. Children, now under this topic, People's Initiative, we will discuss about the initiatives taken by the people, efforts taken by the people against British rule non-violently. Now children, different classes and groups of people, they interpreted Gandhiji's call in their own manner. Many people protested in the ways that were not in accordance with the Gandhiji's ideas. Children, now in both the cases where people fought against Britishers' rule violently or non-violently, in both the cases they linked their movements to local grievances. Children, let's discuss about those few examples. Children, like in Kheda, Gujarat, Patidar peasants, they organized non-violent campaigns against the high land revenue demand of the Britishers. Children, we have learnt in previous chapters that peasants were not at all happy with the Britishers' rule in India because of their revenue system, because they have to pay huge amount of revenue to the Britishers, and because of which they have lost their lands which they were tilling from generations, which they have got from their ancestors. Children, now another example is in the Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh. Tribals and poor peasants, they performed a number of forest satyagrahas. Like sometimes they were sending their cattle into the forest without paying grazing fees. Now here they were protesting because the colonial state had restricted their use of forest resources in various ways. It means Britishers were not allowing these tribal people, these peasants, to enter into the forest and use the forest resources. They believed that Gandhiji would get their taxes reduced and have the forest regulations abolished. Children, in many forest villages, peasants proclaimed, they officially declared Swaraj, and they believed that Gandhi Raj was about to be established. Children, now in Sindh, which is in Pakistan presently, Muslim traders and peasants, They were very enthusiastic about the Khilafat call. Children, in the previous session, we have learned about Khilafat agitation. Like when in 1920, the Britishers imposed a harsh treaty on the Turkish Sultan or Khalifa, Indian Muslims were very keen that the Khalifa be allowed to retain control over Muslim sacred places in the erstwhile Ottoman Empire, including the leaders of Khilafat agitation, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. They wished to initiate a full-fledged non-cooperation movement. Now, children, in Bengal also, the Khilafat non-cooperation movement alliance gave enormous communal unity and strength to national movement. Children, in Punjab, the ugly agitation of the Sikh people. What was that ugly agitation, children? Like they were keen to remove corrupt Mahants. Mahants, who were these Mahants? These Mahants were the religious functionaries of Sikh Gurudwaras. Means the people who are working in the Gurudwaras for religious purposes. These Mahants were supported by the Britishers. So they were keen to remove these corrupt Mahants from their Gurudwaras. And children, this ugly agitation got closely identified with the non-cooperation movement. Now children, in Assam, tea garden laborers, they were shouting Gandhi Maharaj ki jai. Why they were shouting Gandhi Maharaj ki jai? Because they were demanding a big increase in their wages. It means Britishers were giving them very low wages for the work they were taking out of them. So children, these laborers, they left British owned plantations and they declared this that it was a wish of Gandhiji that they leave Britishers owned plantations. And children, it was very interesting that in the Assamese Vaishnava songs of the period, the reference to Krishna was substituted by Gandhi Raja. It means they were singing the songs of Gandhiji there in Assam.
Children, now we will discuss about People's Mahatma. So from the name itself we can understand that people of India, they started believing Gandhiji as a Masiha. Masiha means God, as someone who could help them to overcome from their sorrows, miseries and poverty. Children, at many places, peasants, tribal people, they started believing that Gandhiji would help them to reduce their taxes, and also he would help them to abolish forest regulations. Children, in many forest villages, peasants proclaimed Swaraj, means they officially declared independence, and they believed that Gandhi Raj was about to be established. We have also discussed about Assam tea garden laborers. So in the Assami Vaishnava songs of that period, which they were singing in reference to Krishna was substituted with the songs of Gandhiji, Gandhi Raja. Children, now Gandhiji also he wished to build class unity, not class conflict. Like children, we have discussed under Rolak Satyagraha that the participants tried to ensure that Hindus and Muslims were united in the fight against the British rule. Gandhiji, he saw the land of India as a land of all the people who lived in the country. Means he wanted that Hindus, Muslims, all the people of India should stand together against the British rule in India. They all should united to fight against Britishers. Like peasants also, they were believing that Gandhiji would help them in their fight against Jamidas and agricultural laborers also. And they believed that, children, we have discussed about peasants that because of high revenue demand from the Britishers, many peasants they have lost their lands which they have got from their ancestors and they were tilling from generations. So now they started believing, those peasants they started believing that Gandhiji would provide their land back. Children, many times, even ordinary people, whatever they were doing, whatever efforts they were putting against their rights, against the Britishers, they believed that Gandhiji was doing everything. And they credited Gandhiji with their own achievements. For example, at the end of a powerful moment, peasants of Pratapgarh in the United Provinces, which is now Uttar Pradesh, they managed to stop illegal eviction of tenants. Means landlords were removing the tenants illegally. So they managed to stop this illegal eviction. But children, they felt it was Gandhiji who had won this demand for them. So people started giving credit to Gandhiji only for their even for their own achievements. Children, as we have discussed this earlier also, that many of the times people were using Gandhiji's name like tribal people and peasants. They were protesting in the ways which were not according to the Gandhiji's ideas, but they were taking the name of Gandhiji. Children, in the previous slides, we have discussed a lot about Mahatma Gandhi and non-cooperation movement which was led by Mahatma Gandhi. Children, we have learned that main aim of non-cooperation movement was to fight against British rule in India in non-violent ways. Children, when in February 1922 a crowd of peasants set fire to a police station in Chauri Chaura, and 22 policemen were killed that day. Though these peasants were provoked because the police had fired on their peaceful demonstration, Gandhiji he abruptly called off the non-cooperation movement because Mahatma Gandhi was against violent movements. And children, when non-cooperation movement was over, Gandhiji's followers stressed that Congress must undertake constructive work in the rural areas. So leaders like Chittaranjan Das, Motilal Nehru, they argued that party should fight elections through the councils and they enter in the government to influence government policies. Children, now the social work these people have done in the villages in the mid 1920s. So these Gandhians followers and leaders, they were able to get people's support over there. And this proved very useful in launching the civil disobedience movement in the year 1930. So children, here we are discussing about the happenings of 1922 to 1929. Children, as we were discussing about the happenings of 1922 to 1929, two important developments of the mid 1920s were the formation of RSS, means Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, a Hindu organization, and the Communist Party of India. Children, the whole decade closed with the Congress fighting for Purna Swaraj, that is complete independence or self-government in India. And children, in the year 1929, under the presidentship of Jawaharlal Nehru, consequently Independence Day was observed on 26th of January 1930 all over the country. Children, now in the previous slide we have discussed about Congress leader Chittaranjan Das. Along with other leaders of the Congress, he argued that the party should fight elections through the councils and their people should enter into the government to understand government policies. Children, Chittaranjan Das was a major figure in the freedom movement. He was a lawyer from East Bengal and he was an active participant in the non-cooperation movement. Children, now this is the picture of Bhagat Singh. As we were discussing about the happenings of 1922 to 1929, the revolutionary nationalist Bhagat Singh was also very active in this period. Children, revolutionary nationalists such as Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sukhdev, they wanted to fight against the colonial rule and the rich who were exploiting lower class people. So it was a fight against them through a revolution of workers and peasants. And children, on 8th of April 1929, Bhagat Singh and B.K. Dutt threw a bomb in the Central Legislative Assembly. The main aim was not to kill, but to make the deaf hear and to remind the foreign government about their exploitation. So it takes a loud voice to make the deaf hear. We know it was a slogan of Bhagat Singh, Inqilab Jindabad. So it takes a loud voice to make the deaf hear. Now children, about Simon Commission. What was this Simon Commission? In 1927, the British government in England, they decided to send a commission headed by Lord Simon to decide India's political future. And this commission had no Indian representative, children. So all the political groups decided to boycott this commission. And when the commission arrived, it was met with the demonstrations with banners saying Simon go back. Children, we can see this picture and we can understand that it was a demonstration against that commission with the banners saying Simon go back. Means they do not want this commission who will decide India's political future. Children, by now we have understood that various movements of Gandhiji, efforts of his followers, and the efforts of revolutionary nationalists like Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sukhdev were to fight against the Britishers' rule in India, maybe through violent or non-violent ways, and to have Purna Swaraj, means complete independence or self-government in India. But children, Purna Swaraj would never come on its own. We have to fight for it. So children, in the year 1930, Gandhiji declared that he would lead a march to break the salt law. So this was a march to Dandi, that is salt satyagraha. So children, now we will understand what was this salt law. Children, according to this law, the British government had a monopoly on the manufacturing of salt and sale of salt. So Gandhiji, along with his other nationalists, they believed that it was wrong, it was sinful to tax salt because it is an essential item of our food. So the Salt March also related the general desire of freedom to a specific grievance shared by everybody and thus did not divide the rich and poor. So under this salt satyagraha, Gandhiji and his followers, they marched for over 240 miles from Sabarmati to the coastal town of Dandi, where they broke the salt law, government law, by gathering natural salt found on the seashore and boiling seawater to produce salt. Now, children, peasants, tribals, and women also participated in large numbers in this salt satyagraha. Children, we have discussed salt satyagraha in the previous slide, and we have seen that peasants, tribals, and women participated in large numbers to fight against the British rule. Even a business federation published a pamphlet on the salt issue. Now, children, in return, British government, they tried to crush the movement through their brutal action against the peaceful satyagrahis. Thousands of satyagrahis were sent to jail. But children, the combined struggles of Indian people bore fruit when the Government of India Act of 1935 prescribed provincial autonomy. Now, provincial autonomy means capacity of the provinces to make independent decisions while remaining within the federation. So this Government of India Act of 1935 prescribed provincial autonomy, and the government announced elections to the provincial legislatures in the year 1937. Now children, the Congress formed governments in 7 out of 11 provinces. So this was a great success. Now children, in the year 1939, after 2 years of Congress rule in the provinces, the Second World War broke out. And critical of Hitler, children, Germany was against the Britain. So here, critical of Hitler, Congress leaders were ready to support Britishers against Germany, against Hitler. But in return, Congress leaders demanded complete independence after the war. They demanded Purna Swaraj from Britishers. They were ready to support Britishers in the Second World War, but they demanded Purna Swaraj, complete independence for India. But children, Britishers refused this demand, and then Congress ministries resigned in protest. Children, now we will quickly revise few important terms from this today's session. So let's start with Mahants. Mahants means religious functionaries of Sikh Gurudwaras, means they were working in Sikh Gurudwaras for religious purposes. Children, another term is illegal eviction. Illegal eviction means forcibly and illegally throwing out of the tenants from the land they rent. Children, now provincial autonomy means, just now in the previous slide we have spoken about provincial autonomy. It is the capacity of the provinces to make independent decisions while remaining within a Federation. Now, children, name the three places where Gandhiji started local movements. Those three places were Champaran, Kheda, and Ahmedabad. And about Rabindranath Tagore, why did Rabindranath Tagore renounce his knighthood? Because after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, he was feeling very painful and sad. So he renounced his knighthood. Children, about knighthood also I have explained you that it was an honor given to him by the British government, British Crown, for his exceptional personal achievement or public service. Now children, another question, what does Punjab wrongs refer to? Punjab wrongs refer to Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Children, now last question is, who was Bhagat Singh and what slogan did he raise? Bhagat Singh was a revolutionary nationalist who wanted to fight against the colonial rule and against the rich class people who were exploiting lower class people. Now, what slogan did he raise? So his slogan was Inqilab Jindabad. Thank you, children. I hope you have understood today's session. Stay home, stay safe, and take care.